most effective Novocaine for the heart pain is another relationship. And so when you see the pain, you want that pain to go away, so you get involved in another relationship. And it's hard to see that what you're into is destructive because it takes the pain away. So I use the example of maybe a broken foot. You take your shoe and your sock off, you give yourself a shot of Novocaine, you put it back on, walk around and say, I'm fine, really, I'm fine. But the next day when you take it off, you got bones sticking through, you've done yourself a whole lot of damage. So being involved while you're still legally married or they're legally married is doing a lot of damage to the relationship. So ask the question, what are you the day before you get married? Are you married or single? The answer should be single. What are you the day after you get married? You married or single? Should be married. What are you the day before you have your final divorce decree in hand? Should be married. What are you the day after? Single, but also miserable. But people don't understand, and what they do is they overlap these relationships. So before their divorce is even final, they're involved in another relationship. It's so far along, they're waiting to get married until the divorce is final. I had a couple show up in my office. She was never married. She didn't realize that he'd been married until we did the interview in my office. And I asked him, have you been married? And he said, well, sort of. I said, are you finally divorced? He said, yeah. He said, I am, but just a minor legal technicality. Well, the minor legal technicality is, number one, she didn't know he was married at all. Number two, he's still legally married because his divorce isn't final. And I stopped it and I said, you two need to go to talk. I'm not going to do I will not do counseling with you. We need to involve with somebody else. And so what happens is that you overlap these relationships. You're not even finished with the one you have. You're sexually involved, living with another guy. And down the road it goes. And so you come out of that one, go to the next one, and you overlap them. So I've got clients right now that are overlapped 2 and 3 different relationships. And so in those situations, they can go south in a hurry. And those relationships, when you get involved in what we call a 3-legged triangle, that when there's 3 people involved, somebody can get killed. And you can't hardly read any newspaper in any major city without seeing where somebody got into it over something and somebody killed somebody over that. So my advice is stay out of 3-legged relationships. Don't get involved with them. Wait until you're finally divorced, get yourself stable, and then start dating, but don't overlap them.